once you start cruising, you'll hear the term back-to-back. So what is back-to-back? That means that you're going to get on a ship, do a cruise, maybe it's 7 days or 10 days, and then the ship's going to continue on and see new things, or it's just going to go back, but you're just not going to get off. You're going to go back-to-back. That means 2 cruises in a row, or 3, or, however many you want to stay on for. I don't know if I've done 3 or not. I'd have to think about that, but I've done lots of back-to-back. Came out of Miami, went down to Lima, Peru through the Panama Canal, and then from Lima we stay in the Pacific Ocean. We go back up through and then see Panama City, and then go up through Central America back to get off in San Diego. So 29 days, a 12-day cruise and a 17-day cruise, so 29 days. So what's good about back-to-back? Well, for one, I don't have to get off, get on an airplane, fly to the next one, right? I save a lot of money staying on the ship. I save a lot of time. I don't lose time finding the next ship. Now, some people do back-to-back because they're basically trying to retire and just live on a ship. They love it so much. It's just so, they don't have to do anything. Just get up, right? The beds get made. The food is always ready. Everything's included. You don't have extra bills except internet. So, but you can just use that when you're in port if you get a good cell phone plan. So that's a different type of strategy. Some people will gamble a lot and then they get free cruises also, and they can keep just staying on the ship and going around and around. I didn't do any of that. I didn't do the gambling. I didn't do the living on a cruise ship. I just wanted to see the world by cruise ship. So I had to book by itinerary. I didn't want to go around and see everything again and again, or even twice. I wanted everything to be new. So the back-to-back, the one thing you need to try to make sure of is get the same room. Okay, so when the first cruise is over, you don't have to pack all your stuff up. On the next day when the cruise turns into the next cruise, you have to get the room steward to move it to the new room, and then you're kind of homeless while you're waiting for the new room to be ready. So if you book the same room, all you have to do is go and get a new key card on the turnover day. So I did 12 days, Miami to Lima. In Lima was the turnover day. People getting off, new people getting on. I just stay on the ship, and I go get a new key card, which I like because I collect my key cards. So then I put the old key card away and I got the new key card for the new cruise. And then I have to go to the muster station. And that's, this here is so that's that. I just have to show up there, check in. I know where to meet if there's trouble. I just relax. You can, now, here's the one thing about doing it this way. If I was getting off in Lima and I wasn't doing back-to-back, I could spend time in Lima and Peru. I could have gone to Machu Picchu. I could have gone to, the Amazon. I could have done things, but I'm not. I'm back-to-back, so I am just there for the day. Luckily, in Lima, we were overnight, so we were there 2 days, 1 night. So on the previous day, I did a tour of Lima with NCL, so I got to see Lima, but that's all I saw. I came back because disembark day and embark day, it's wild. It's, there's people getting off, there's new people getting on. And if you're doing back-to-back, you can get off at a certain time. It's busy getting off, but you get off. But you need to, say the ship's leaving at 6 o'clock, you need to make sure you're back by 3. They think it's 2 hours before or something, minimum. And so you better give yourself 3. So if you can't get off till 9 or 10, you're only going to be out there for 4 or 5 hours. It's not very long to see things. And again, you can't miss the ship, right? And usually the cruise line will not provide any tours, because there's not a lot of people. Now on this cruise, it was a weird one. There was 300 of us doing back-to-back. So there was so many and so many questions. They ended up doing a presentation at the theater explaining just what I told you, that if you're not changing your room and you've managed to book the same room, somebody asked, why didn't you do that for us? They're not going to plan your back-to-back. You have to plan your own, and if you can't, then get an NCL agent to do it with you, which is what I do. I phone. But if you're not changing rooms, all you have to do is go get your new key card and go to your muster station, and you're done. That's pretty easy. Now, if you are changing rooms, you need to pack it all up, and they're going to move it, and then they will get your new room ready sooner than the other ones. So you don't need to wait till 2, 3, 4 o'clock for your new room to be ready. It'll be ready by 10:30, 11. And it'll say, the doors will be closed on the hallways saying, we're getting the rooms ready. But if you're back to back, so what they do is if you're back to back, they give you the transit sticker. See all my back to backs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's at least 8, maybe more. Back to backs I've done. This is the latest one, still on vacation in transit. That's on the NCL Jade. Sometimes they put the ship name still in transit on the NCL Sun. But anyways, you'll get that sticker and you'll be wearing it. And so if they see you in the hallway, they're going to know that you're not a new guest, that you are supposed to be there. And usually, like I said, they'll get that room ready and your luggage there. So you can move in and be settled, by 11:30. Or you can go out on tour yourself and figure it out. Go see more of that city or see any of that city, really. And then come back and get into your room. So back to that. Now, usually when I disembark, say I wasn't doing back-to-back, I would get off in Lima and I would book an airport tour. So they're going to show me the highlights of Lima. It's going to start around 8:39 in the morning and they're going to get me to the airport by 3, 4 o'clock. So I need to have a flight 6 o'clock or later, and then I get to see the city. And that'll be my only chance to see it, unless I'm going to stay longer, right? Which I usually don't do because then I got to figure out my own tours and I got to plan all that, and I just prefer just to see it 3 or 4 hours, get the highlights. If I really think it's amazing, one day maybe I'd come back. So far, most cities are cities and there's a few things to see, and I saw them and away I go. So that's what I do. But now, if you're not disembarking, then that, like I said, that's your only chance to see it, and there is no NCL tour, so you need to figure out your own tours, and you need to do that, and then you need to get back to the ship. So that's the downside to the back-to-back, seeing that disembarkation city, if you want to. Depends if you want to. Sometimes you disembark at, like a cruise port terminal, some city on the coast, and so it's really nothing to see there, so you don't really care if you're lucky. But sometimes it's, wow, that's going to be Miami, then yeah, I'd like to see Miami maybe. So then you need to figure it out. Okay, what's the downside to back-to-back? Well, one is laundry. Okay, so you're going to need to figure out, you're going to be on here for so long that you're going to have to do the laundry and you're going to have to pay for it. So if you have loyalty points, then sometimes you get free laundry or discounts on laundry. So you do that. And that gives you a bag a week on NCL. And the bags now have got smaller. I think they've half size of what they used to be 3 years ago. But anyways, is what it is. For me, it's free. You get enough loyalty points, then you get one free bag a week. And depending on if, I mostly travel where it's warm, so I'm wearing, light clothing, then I can get it all in that bag and I get it washed every week. But yeah, you're going to need to get laundry done. So that's one downside. Otherwise, usually you can just, if you're going on a 7-day cruise, pack enough clothes and you take it home and you wash it when you get home. Next is tired of the ship. So I'm going to be 29 days on the NCL Jade. The first 10 days, it's a floating 5-star hotel. It's amazing, but that starts to wear thin. You're seeing the same crew all the time. You're walking the ship, the same. The part of the highlight of cruising is the different ship. Wow, first time on the ship is exciting. And now you're on here for me 29 days, and that's my second time I've done 29 days. That's my record. I don't know if I did triple. I might have done a 30-some day though. I would have to look back on that. But anyways, 29 days this time. The other thing is the entertainment's going to repeat. This ship has the same Broadway shows. The problem's going to be the entertainment. It's on repeat, right? The dancers and the singers are the same, unless you get lucky by a miracle and somehow it changes. But usually it's the same on this ship for a long period of time, months. So the only thing that might change is the magician. Like this time, I don't see the magician around. I think he's gone. But now there's a hypnotist, so they swapped him out for a hypnotist. Other than that, everything so far is the exact same show. So I saw him. I'm not going to go again. The only one I go to, NCL does You're All Norwegian Now finale show, and I do show up for that. Just it's a way to applaud and thank the crew. I travel a lot, and these people, some are here because they love to travel, but mostly they're here to get money to help their families. So, and they're gone for months at a time. I used to be, 5-6 months, and now these cruise lines want them to do 9 and, and long. And yeah, so I go there to clap and say thank you. They're thanking us, but I mean, really, I'm saying thank you. That's a big sacrifice they make. They make the best of it, especially, certain nationalities. I'm not going to say which ones. If you cruise, you know who they are. They're very, majorities are always happy and singing and smiling, and, they're making the best of it. And I'm grateful for that. So I go to that show, and I'll go to it. I went already on the first cruise, and now I'll go to it on the last day of this cruise to say thank you. So the downside, like I said, the entertainment repeats, the ship gets old, the food gets old, it's the same food. There's only so many different dishes they can make, and that's how that is. So specialty dining is the same. Everything's the same. Same. So that gets old. And that's why you can do a round the world cruise. And I thought, same ship for months. Like, I just couldn't do it. When these 29 days are up, I'm happy to get off different ship. Yeah. Next time will be nice. A different, same, tiring. How do I deal with it? Especially the first part of the back-to-back. New ship, new everything, new shows, new food, new everything, great. Second part, same. How do I deal? I have a routine. I wake up, I work, I do these videos, I work on my other business, I read. I don't even do it if some reason it's repeating some ports like this one. We left and we went back to Ecuador, and now we're going to go back into Panama. Some of that stuff I've seen. I don't even get off the ship. I've already been to those places. So I keep busy reading, exercising. Sometimes I'll go get a massage if I have extra money. I'm basically filling the time waiting for the new ports and the new excitement. Great. I've never been. This time Costa Rica, El Salvador, and a few stops in Mexico. So I got about 5 places, I think, 5 tours I've booked. So lots of excitement coming up, and I just look forward to that. And when I'm not, I enjoy my relaxation, drinking coffee, reading a book, sitting by the pool, sitting at the buffet. When it's not open, you can sit up in there and drink a coffee or have a juice or a water, So yeah, and just looking at the ocean's pretty relaxing. So that's how I do it. I keep a good routine. Now, who should do it? First off, you need to be okay being gone for a month, or however many days it's going to be, right? That needs to fit into your life. You need to have the finances. You need to be able to afford it. And you need to be okay with, being days and days out on the ocean. If you've never cruised, I wouldn't suggest starting with a back-to-back. Like start with a 3 or 4 day, then do a 7, then do a 10, and then, and then after that, maybe try back-to-back or do a trans-Pacific, that kind of thing. Back-to-back cruising isn't for everyone, but it works for me.